Ladies and gentlemen, today, on this sweltering hot day, we will have to explore the desert region of the island. As a heavy rainstorm has engulfed the south side of this island, we were unable to record our hopeful episode 3, which was originally going to be in the swamp biome to the south on the mountains. But we've decided to take into account the northeast desert, which spans and takes over quite the bit of the north as well. This giant desert does not have any sand. No, it's a rock desert. Having pure rocks makes it hard for any dinosaur, especially the burrowing ones and the mammals that inhabit it. But enough chat. We have to get back into our lovely dinosaur island. Now let's go. A Dimetrodon is up here. This is a very remote area. The area that revives into the semi-tropical desert. We will not be touring this semi-tropical rock desert, but we will keep our main eye on the main desert. This Dimetrodon here has decided to come out and sunbathe on this sweltering hot day. It's trying to catch a cool breeze that is sweeping through this small area. Luckily for him, he's not in the midst of the rock desert, where the temperature will rise to an ungodly level, unless animals are near the reservoir. Another dinosaur that inhabits the subtropical desert area of the north side, a Segnosaurus. It's hunting Titanorama, but it's also mainly a herbivore, so it's trying to find. But unfortunately for this one, as he got out of the subtropical desert. He doesn't know which direction he's supposed to be going in to get back up. And he is getting hungrier and thirstier by the minute. He looks over to his left, and he's found a little burrow. He'll eat the plant life, and even though it's all dead plants. This will be enough to satiate him for food, but he can only last so long without water. Whoa. These three Eoraptor are more precarious than the others. They are here upon the subtropical desert. The borders for one reason. They live around this area. In fact, they are trying to get back to their den, which is actually where the Segnosaurus is. But they are kind of stuck. they are stuck up on this large tree. Stump. It's a dead tree. And they've had to climb up it for one particular reason. Opisthosuchus lies in wait below. In between the two trees, he's waiting for one of the Eoraptors to either attempt to make a run for it or slip up. This Opisthosuchus has gone into ambush mode. And he's only here to ambush some prey. He won't be able to catch the Eoraptors if the Eoraptors begin to run. So he is very, very cautious of not giving his position away. But the Eoraptors have the height advantage and can see him from atop. And I'll be waiting out here and outlast the hunter's patience. But how long does it take to outlast the patience of a paleo animal? We'll see how long this patient hunter will stand to catch his prey. This young Parasaurolophus has unfortunately come across the end of the heavy barricade in between. He's on the edge of the desert, trying to find water. He's way too tired. He's dying of thirst. He'll need to find the water so he can survive. Now, this may shock you, but this, in fact, does look like a Spinosaurus. A Spinosaurus, though, was no place to be able to inhabit a desert like this. This is the relative of the Spinosaurus. One of the largest, just missing out on Spinosaurus being the biggest. This is Oxalia. And they are more adapted to hunting in this desert-like area. They can go without water for a few days, thanks to this adaptation. And their sail is like a Dimetrodon's, to quellish them from the heat and attract a mate. Not for swimming or any other purposes. Right now, he is following this young Parasaurolophus. He is starving. But he knows if he does go for the young Parasaurolophus, then he'll lose his best source to finding water. This herbivore is following the plant life. The more sporadic the plant life, the closer water is. So if he keeps following the young parasaur at a steady pace, he'll eventually find the water. And there, he can easily dispatch the young parasaur and have a combination of food and water to last him. Too far away from the Oxalia, where he is stalking the Parasaurolophus, there is something else going on. A Utahraptor, a Cryolophosaurus, and a male Herrerasaurus. The three-way fight can only end with one victor. And it'll either be the Herrerasaur, the Cryolophosaur, or the Utahraptor. But the Utahraptor has a trick up its sleeve. It's been saving these for a while. And if any of the other carnivores make a move, he can easily use this trick to his advantage. Cryolophosaurus was so paying attention to the Utahraptor that he didn't notice the Herrerasaur attack it from the side. The Cryolophosaurus has killed the Herrerasaur. The one to make the first lunge. It was a horrible decision. But now, Husea turns his tights to the Utahraptor, who hasn't used his trick yet. He squares up for a fight, the Utahraptor. It looks like it's going to be a battle between the killer Cryolophosaurus or the newcomer Utahraptor. Hasn't used his trick yet though, and decides now would be a pretty good time to use that trick. Is an alpha of a pack that has migrated here from the south side. That consists of the alpha, a secondary male, a female, which you could see back there, that has the blue stripe, and the youngling, which is making sure it stays behind the alpha. They are the Cryolophosaur is outnumbered 4-1, and decides it's not the best fighting a pack of 4 Utahraptors. It knows it'll for surely lose, so it backs off. One of the Utahs wants to go and chase off this intruder. But the alpha decides it'd be better to stop and eat. The Utahraptor pack is lovely, enjoying their kill. Otherwise, in the desert, there are some complications. Plant life growing perfectly. A sign of water close to come. More plant life just sprouting nearby. A sign. There is water. But at the water, there is something dangerous as well. Very, very dangerous. The young Parasaur's made it here. He's surprised. He hasn't seen water in so long. He goes down and jumps right in. Then he moves up. Something is coming up the bank. It's the Oxalia. But he's more focused in the water than the young Parasaur. The trip took longer than expected, and now the Oxalia is more thirsty than hungry. That wasn't our Oxalia. Suddenly, the Oxalia backs down the bank. The young Parasaur doesn't know what scared it until he looks up the rock. An Acrocanthosaurus. A big one at that. He's coming down from the rocks and analyzing the newcomers. As long as he's fine with their arrival, they'll be able to stay. But the Acro doesn't like other carnivores invading his turf. He sees the Oxalia is backing away. This is good enough for him. He's already fought an Oxalia once before. And you have already seen the skeleton of it after what he's done to it. He decides to let the newcomers in as he creeps up for a little rest. There's a sunbathing Titanoboa. This is an adult that bears the markings of the mountain clan. There are 3 different clans of Titanoboa that exist on this island. The water, which inhabits another area around, an area around the north. The mountain, which this guy is from, that inhabits this tiny little oasis, and the tropical desert. And then there is the nature, which exploits and rests on the west side. Unfortunately, we can't get video evidence over there on the west side because of the amount of storms that happen there. There's too many storms on the west side that our helicopters can't get through to view these magnificent animals that reside on the west side. The only reason we know that there are Titanoboas on there is from a little bit of scrapped footage of one coming out into the swamp from the west side. Also lurking here is a Magicosaurus. It's dangerously close to the slumbering Acro, but it knows that it's calm here. It knows what the Oxalia and young Parasaur don't. The Acrocanthosaurus will most likely eat the newcomers before him. This is a large male Pachyrhinosaurus. He's traveling along. And he's gone through the aching desert looking for food. He's accompanied by this mother Orodromus and her youngling. They haven't been able to find food in enough quantities. The food by the oasis, there's too little of it. And it's too far away of a walk, even though they've made it almost completely across the rock desert. The Pachy senses danger and looks across. There's a dead body of a young Pachyrhinosaurus. Too young to make it. But it looks like that the Pachy came from this direction. Whatever slayed it must have had the intent of getting an easy meal. This has never been seen before. A Carnotaurus. Bigger than ever recorded on the fossil record. But how could this be? An animal this size? Prey could only be as big as an adult Pachyrhinosaurus. He's deciding to attack. This has never been caught before, but the evidence concludes that this Carnotaurus is suffering from gigantism, thus its size almost making it the equivalent of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. The Pachyrhinosaurus and it are about to have a big duel. The Carnotaurus is trying to bluff the Pachyrhinosaurus into charging him. If he could do this, he could successfully catch it off guard. But the Pachyrhinosaurus holds its ground. It's time. A surprise charge from the Carnotaurus has made it and has managed to topple the adult Pachyrhinosaurus. The Pachyrhinosaurus does not have time to get up. This battle is already over. The Carnotaurus won. A pretty easy and efficient kill by this Carnotaurus. We've heard word of this Carnotaur before. This Carnotaur is actually, evidentially, one of the oldest dinosaurs on the island. It is also, evidentially, the mate to the Carnotaur female that we saw in episode 2. It resides on the east side. This is as northeast as you can get once you come to the island. As the east is just down there, and behind you, the Carnotaur is the north. This was a successful day for our Carnotaurs. We shall give this Carnotaur a name fitting for an old, strong animal. Eldridge. The name that we shall give this Carnotaur is Eldridge, or Elder for short. And he is the king of the east sides desert, of the northeast. This is all happened so fast, but it's not all grave. The Orodromius and her youngling have managed to get out of there. And just beyond this little cliff, the tiny cliff, that even this youngling can come off, is perfect green vegetation they'll be able to eat. And just a bit further into a tiny brushland forest could be the water that they've been looking for, that they've been following the Pachydinosaur. The Pachydinosaur has done its job, and even though it died, it has been able, with its sacrifice, to let this mother and young Orodromius live for another day. But who knows what could happen on this island, the island of dinosaurs. What chaos awaits us next. Thank you all for watching this lovely episode of our lovely series of Dinosaur Island. I have a question to ask all of you down there in the comments of this video. I want you all in the comments of this video to leave name suggestions for what we should call the island. If not, then I'll have to come up with my own name. The most upvoted name for this island to be called, because we just register it as Dinosaur Island or The Island. It needs a real name. So comment down below if you have a good idea for what we should call this island. If not, I'll have to choose a name. But I am giving you guys 2 episodes. This episode and the next episode of Dinosaur Island to leave suggestions for the name of this island. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all next time. Stay in touch.